Good afternoon. This is Grayson with Gray Skies Weather giving you an update on Hurricane Melissa. Now, this has really escalated. Yesterday, we were talking about a Category 1 hurricane, and now we're talking about a strong, significant Category 5 hurricane with 175-mile-per-hour sustained winds and a central pressure of 906 millibars. This has really strengthened overnight and really just became a catastrophic situation for Jamaica. Now, looking at the IR satellite, you can just see this monster. You can just see how big it is, how strong it is, and look how well defined that eye is. Now you see these pink little dots, those are lightning strikes. And lightning is striking in the eye, which is showing how much energy there is in the clouds and in the hurricane. Now, this storm is taking its turn toward Jamaica now. And if we take a look at the visible satellite, you can just see how well defined that eye is. You can even start to see parts of the ground there. See that black? That's the ground. Now, this white is just the towering cumuluses of this giant hurricane. Now, that eye is so well defined, and you can see those lightning strikes and the pink dots. This is going to be catastrophic, insane structural damage and flooding for Jamaica in the next coming days. Now, we could see landfalls in Jamaica, Cuba, the Bahamas, and Bermuda in the coming days. Now, looking at the satellite loop, you can see that the storm is going to take its turn tonight toward Jamaica, and it will make landfall tonight into tomorrow morning, which is Tuesday morning. And it could also make landfall in Cuba by Tuesday night into Wednesday morning and go up toward Bermuda and maybe even make landfall in Bermuda around the coming days after that. Now, Jamaica's going to get hit really bad. This is going to be the worst of the damage and the worst of it. And it's already happening. We've already seen rain pour into the Jamaica area. And I think the Black River area, that low-lying area by the beach, is going to get slammed the hardest. Black River is going to get the worst damage. Now, Savannah, Lamar, that area could get damage as well. Weatherwise has just added these cameras so we can take a look at what's going on. You can see it's raining, some flooding, some ponding. These are in the higher elevation areas. But tonight, the storm surge is going to come in, the waves are going to get in, and the rain is going to start pouring, and the winds are going to howl. Now, looking at the Jamaica radar, you can go ahead and see this giant hurricane right here, the eye right there, and the outer eye wall. You can see that. That is the real meat and potatoes of this giant storm. But also, notice that these outer bands in this kind of feeder band setup is getting flung into the Jamaica area, bringing heavy rainfall rates and possibly tornadic spin-ups in the area before the actual hurricane hits. And the reason that this is going to be so prolonged is the hurricane is tracking out to the west, then curving back in to Jamaica, and that's going to cause the feeder bands to just set up and just dump rain on this area before the actual 4-inch, 5-inch per hour eye wall gets in here. Plus, that's going to push all the storm surge in. Looking at the Cuba radar, this also confirms that this feeder band setup will be setting up near the Jamaica area with moderate rainfall rates and pockets of high rainfall rates that are going to be setting up over the area all day today, overnight tonight, and during landfall. Now, looking at this, you can see the eye is starting to poke through on this area right here where I'm circling. You can start to see the eye and the rotation right there of the actual hurricane, the meat and potatoes, not just the feeder bands. You can also see some pockets of heavy rainfall and isolated thunderstorms near the Cuba radar. Now, all these outer bands and stuff could possibly have tornadic spin-ups as well. Now, looking for rain to come, this is rain that's not already fallen. This is not accounting for that. This is the rain in the future. So still, 20 to 30 inches possible in Jamaica and Cuba overnight tonight and into the next coming days. You could see 16 to 12 in most of Jamaica area, and everywhere in Jamaica could see up to 16 inches of rain and more. So Haiti, you guys could see up to 8 to 12 inches there. Up in Cuba, you guys could see 20 to 30 inches as well, plus the rain you guys have already seen in Jamaica, Cuba, and Haiti. For the forecasted track, we are looking at this orange disc and this yellow disc. This orange disc is the hurricane force winds, and the yellow disc is the tropical storm force winds. Notice how Jamaica and Kingston are already in this. They are already feeling the impacts of the tropical storm force winds, but the hurricane force winds will be coming in later. This is a very focused region. Probably during the nighttime hours, it'll pass by. Now, the eye wall is probably where this is going to be located in surrounding areas. this is going to be the worst of the storm, and it's going to pass right through you guys in Black River and Westmoreland. Now, notice as this passes through, we have hurricane warnings all over Cuba and Jamaica. So we can see a Cuba landfall sometime around 2 a.m. Wednesday. Still a major hurricane, probably category 4, category 3 status. Now, moving forward, we could see on 2 p.m. Wednesday a landfall for the Bahamas. All of you guys, most of your guys' islands are under hurricane warnings and tropical storm warnings. Now, going through on Thursday, it moves away from the Bahamas, and we could see a landfall possibly in Bermuda in between Thursday and Friday. Now, going back to warnings, you guys in Haiti, you guys are seeing tropical storm warnings. Some areas in Bahamas are seeing tropical storm warnings and hurricane force winds watch. We're also seeing hurricane warnings all over the Bahamas, Cuba, and Kingston and Jamaica, all over you guys. So you guys all are under this. All of you guys in the red and blues, you guys need to be aware and taking action about this giant storm that's going to be impacting you. A once in a lifetime situation for y'all in Jamaica. You guys have never seen anything like this ever. This is not going to be like any other hurricane inching its way close to you and missing out. This is a direct landfall with catastrophic wind damage, catastrophic flooding, and dangerous, dangerous storm surge. So where is this storm going to go? We're looking at the HAFIS-A model on the Tropical Tidbits website, and we're going to be tracking this forward. And right now, we're looking at forecasted on the model right now. You can see a 904 millibar low. We were looking at 906 right now. So very accurate, very close to it. This is going to give you a general idea on how strong and where it's going to be. So by 12 a.m. today or 12 a.m. tomorrow, we're looking at 906 millibar low nearing the coast. You guys could probably be seeing some hurricane force winds near the Black River area. Now going forward, this is 8 a.m. Tuesday. We're looking at almost a landfall. This storm is going to be strengthening overnight tonight and hitting y'all tonight. It's going to be catastrophic, once in a generation. It's probably multi-generational. You guys have never seen anything like this in Jamaica. Now going forward, we're looking at 18Z on Tuesday or 1 p.m. on Tuesday. We're looking at a 925 millibar low, still category 5 strength, slamming into Jamaica. And like I said, that feeder band setup, you can see right there, that feeder band's feeding into the other areas while the giant eye wall moves through and destroys buildings and floods places. This is going to be a very catastrophic situation. Now going forward, we are looking at the 3Z on Wednesday. So this is going to be about 7 p.m., 9 p.m. on Wednesday. We're looking at an almost landfall again on Cuba, looking at a landfall by 12 a.m. on Cuba. We're going to see a strong category 3, maybe a low-end category 4 impact on Cuba with winds up to 120 miles per hour. Now going forward, it's going to slam into the Bahamas and hit as a category 2 or 1. Now going even more forward, we're going to possibly see a landfall in Bermuda as a category 1 or 2 with winds up to 110 miles per hour. Now after that, it will just move off toward Canada, and luckily this trough is going to swat it away from the United States. Now that's really going to wrap up the video, but I briefly want to touch on some of my thoughts and some of my analysis, I think, of the area and the map and some of the flooding. Now, we're going to real quick talk about where I think the most rain is going to happen and where I think the biggest winds are going to happen. So on the west side of the island, the storm is going to come barreling through, and I think the worst of the winds are going to hit the Black River area and these areas circled. The eye wall is going to slam into y'all, plus it's going to go accelerate up the mountains. So it's going to be really bad for y'all in Jamaica, especially in the West Islands area. Now, for the most amount of rain, I think the rainfall rates we saw on the map are going to be very accurate, and they're going to be very evenly spaced throughout all the island. I think that we're going to be seeing 20, 30 inches of rain everywhere in the island, in some pockets, localized pockets, 40 inches of rain somewhere near some of these valleys or any of these areas over here. I think these areas could see tons of rain and could actually get washed out. Now, especially talking about storm surge in these beaches, some of these beaches could have geographic altercations after this by being washed out by the storm surge in the rain and just the sheer winds of this. This is going to be a very strong, catastrophic, multi-generational, worst you guys have ever seen in Jamaica event. This is a nightmare for y'all. Y'all need to stay aware, Tune into resources like Ryan Hall. I know he just went live. He might be covering this. And Television Jamaica. They are a really good YouTube channel. They will talk about shelters. There are 800 shelters open right now. Look at those channels and just stay tuned to your local news outlet as well. And just be aware of the situation and be cautious, especially if you're in a valley in a flood prone area. I also want to pray for everyone affected in this storm, especially Jamaica, because they're going to be getting heavily impacted by this possibly life altering situation. I know you guys can get through it. You guys need to stay aware and prepare for this. I also want to talk about the danger of mudslides, landslides, and long duration power outages. Now, long duration power outages we're going to see over the entire island and probably significant power failure due to flooding, storm surge, and the really damaging winds of the hurricane force winds that are going to be battering these towers and electrical units. Now, also for mudslides, everyone in the mountain range needs to be careful that landslides and mudslides, they're very bad and they are just complete, like basically mud avalanches. These are going to be very dangerous to people and especially houses and stuff downhill of these mudslides. I need y'all to be aware of this, and you guys need to brace for impact for tonight into tomorrow and into the coming weeks. You're going to see long-lasting impacts and long-duration power outages. That's really going to wrap the video up. I think I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to support me, drop a like. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers so I can apply for the first part of the YouTube Partner Program to keep bringing y'all amazing content. That's going to be it for today. Thank you. Goodbye.